Hey, thanks so much for checking out this video. This is going to be my live co-stream as well as reaction to the Destiny 2 The Edge of Fate reveal event. I'm more covering this not as a player. I have zero interest in playing Destiny 2 ever again or trying to rectify that. I am interested in the future of this game from a live service perspective. It's been very interesting to watch Bungie sort of evolve as a company, their efforts with Marathon. I have significantly commented on. All of my videos on Marathon age like fine wine. Thanks for all the people who brigaded against them. Now everybody's in agreement with me, so that's been fun. And we're going to be covering this to kind of see what the future of Destiny looks like. I'm going to end the previous stream where we were covering GTA 6. And we were covering the GTA 6 trailer too. I'm going to bring folks over with Redirect. Smash like at the very end of that video if you don't mind. And while we start this new stream, smash that like button as well. Good to see you in the chat feed. Thank you so much for being here. We're having a little friendly competition down here in the corner as well. If you're watching on Twitch, you can 100% try to compete with YouTube by gifting subs or becoming a sub yourself. We greatly appreciate the continued support of us being back on Twitch, and we're grateful for you. And let me go in here and get a look. That way we can thank anybody who recently follows or recently subs. If you do sub, you will get credit for all your previous subs with me in the past. So thank you to everybody who's continued to do that as well. Make sure as well that you guys, as you're pouring into the YouTube stream, make sure you are smashing the like button. That will help us out. That we're starting a brand new stream. They're going to go live, as you can see there with the countdown, 25 minutes from now. If you are watching this later, just skip ahead. Thank you guys so much for being a part of what we do here. I think the greatest thing I'm looking for, the most thing that, that I'm interested here is, how much of an indication are they going to give about the future, things going forward, how much of an indication are they going to give about like content plans beyond where they currently are, because I do believe you're entering into final stages, right? You've got to start doing end of life. I have continued to say that I think PlayStation's going to want them to build Destiny 3. That has been something that I have felt that, it seems as though that is something that they want. Give me one quick second. I want to make sure I don't have a bunch of other tabs open. There we go. Yo, what's good, Melrose Mike? How are you? Saying this is a smaller expansion. I want to see what they're going to charge for it. Yeah, that's an interesting perspective. Like, what are they going to charge for it? The other interesting perspective is, like, what comes after it, As you guys pile in from the redirect from the previous stream, we just got done covering the GTA 6 trailer number 2. As you kind of come piling in, do me a favor and hit that like button. We get those first 100 likes. Yes, it is Tuesday. Today is Tuesday. All we did was conclude the Light and Darkness saga. You can go further, I would imagine. The trailer for Edge of Fate seems to indicate they might be leaving the solar system. That could be them setting up a total reset of the game. That might be their way forward. It could be setting up a total reset for Destiny 3. Yes, I am still banned in the game. Yes. Was never given a reason, was never given a response. It was a dev ban on Steam. It wasn't even like an actual normal ban. It was, I don't know what it was. They never said, and they just closed the ticket if you try to appeal it. It's not like a genuine ban. It's like a 500-year ban on Steam. Honestly, don't know or heard anyone playing Destiny at this point. Nothing hype. We did a series. We did a series here for paying members on YouTube where my wife was playing the game brand new, and it just didn't look or feel like the game that I fell in love with and covered for 5 years. It looked like its soul had been ripped out. Like the colors that they used, the graphical, like the art direction, and now people are running around like stormtroopers. It just very much is not a game. I don't miss it in any sense. I don't. There was a time where I did, but not anymore. 10 months from Cataclysmic over here on Twitch. adding to our friendly competition between the platforms, I tell you what we'll do. Let's have a friendly little competition. Let's see. First to 50 today. First to 50. And I will drop, let's see. What would I owe you? I'd owe you a 10. I'll do a 20. I'll do a 20 bomb on Twitch or a 20 bomb on YouTube. First to 50. YouTube's got a bit of a head start. Let's see if we can't scramble and have a little competition between the platforms, and then I'll gift accordingly. If you guys are watching on YouTube, take a quick second and hit that thumbs up button. It does help us. Brett says mad blips. Is he the only one, or are you guys having some issues on YouTube? My bitrate has been solid the whole time. Wired Ropes is not on Twitch. Okay. I would love a new Destiny caliber looter shooter to play on the reg. I've said for a very long time that somebody's got to be making the next big looter shooter. I don't know why it wouldn't be Bungie, but if you want my personal theory on what Bungie's doing, I think Bungie's tired of doing Destiny. I think the bandwidth demand that is required of them all these years to maintain Destiny 2, I think it's been too demanding of them. And I don't think they want to do it anymore. Novahan says, I have a drinking game for everyone. Every time this Bungie host says, go ahead and you have to take a drink, everyone will be passed out drunk after 20 minutes. Yes, GTA 6 trailer 2 dropped. I've got my reaction live on the channel right now. Sony will happily take over. Again, I think that Bungie doesn't want to do Destiny anymore. I think they were doing all those spin-up incubation projects because they thought... I think the reason that they weren't doing a Destiny 3 is because they looked at what was going to be demanded of them, and they were like, no way. We're not doing that for another 10 years. It's too demanding. Like, the bandwidth required, the number of times the game almost died, like February 2018, basically they said if the player drop-off rate continued, they were done. They were absolutely cooked. Like, they were terrified. And there were numerous times in the life of Destiny 2, where they said, look, we need other people helping us. They had parallel development with Vicarious Visions and High Moon Studios. That led to things like, the Menagerie and other things that were considered good pieces of content that Bungie didn't even make. And it's like, do they want to do that for another 10 years? I don't think they did. I think they spun up incubation projects. I think Marathon is actually content that was ripped from Destiny 3. If you go back to some of Anon the Nine's leaks, and they all came true, they were planning in Destiny 3 to have PvPvE areas that sounded an awful lot like what Marathon, like the bones of Marathon is. If you go back in time, when Dr. Lupo, claimed that he was as early as 2018 going out to Bungie and testing what became Marathon, I think he was testing something that at the time was probably some type of a mode for Destiny. I think over time they ripped it from it, decided not to do Destiny 3. They looked at the bandwidth requirement and the commitment, and they said, wow, we're not interested in doing that, which is understandable. And then after that, I think they started spinning out other things. They said, okay, well, we could do this thing that they were doing with like Luke and Mark Noseworthy were spearheading, where it was going to be like third person. You were going to play as like heroes from the Destiny universe. It was going to be kind of like open world Monhunt style. You have one of the incubated projects that's been handed over to SIE and absorbed by Sony. Sony's also absorbed like 100-something odd people. I think Sony wants the talent. I think they like Bungie for the talent and the IP. I think they want the leadership gone. I think that's one of the reasons why they fired back in the Chris Barrett lawsuit. I think they fired back because I think Barrett was hoping that Bungie would be afraid of a discovery process and would fold. And I think Sony would happily go through discovery because I think Sony would happily, remove a lot of the corrupt and toxic leadership at the company. I said for a long time that there was all kind of stuff that went down and that the company was, covering up a lot of stuff. I mean, we've already seen that in Barrett's firing, but he's alleging that way worse things happened at the company. It's not surprising. And I think Sony fired back because I think Sony was like, listen, we'll happily go to court, because the final amortized payment's scheduled for 2026, and it gets a lot smaller if you fire a bunch of the leaders that, probably deserve it. I think that the studio is full of really talented people. I think anytime that people have spoken on or off the record, that's been one of the primary frustrations at the company is the leadership. And I think that the IP is very valuable. I think the Destiny IP is very valuable. I think if you came out with a Destiny 3 in 4 or 5 years, I think it would be a huge hit. It would kind of shatter. Like just a teaser trailer alone, I think would be pretty hyped up, pretty exciting. I think Destiny's got pull. As a brand, as an IP, I think the brand has pull. And I think Sony knows that. And Sony has not said anything to indicate they're backing away from their live service plans. So I would anticipate them maybe even viewing, Destiny within their future live service framework of saying, hey, this IP could be very valuable to us. There's internal fear and angst at Bungie that they're pushing Marathon out the door just to get it out the door, and then a lot of the leadership's going to bail in 2026 when they get the final amortized payment. That could lead to some of what I'm thinking. Like, Sony could kind of step in, take over, restructure leadership, and then basically say, listen, we would really like you guys to make Destiny 3. I would not want Bungie forced to make Destiny 3. We've seen what happens when studios are forced to make games they're not interested in making. The hope would be that there's enough people there that are still interested and want to do it. But again, I think the problem with Destiny and the Tiger engine all these years is that the level of bandwidth required to make the game and upkeep the game is almost insurmountable. There's been nothing to do in Destiny for so long. Not that I want anyway. Their story content dripping is getting old. If they plagiarize, then they should own it. I mean, I'm not sure where that lawsuit's going to go. When I looked at what the guy was alleging and looked at his story, it looked generic enough that it'd be hard to think that they stole it. I mean, I don't know if there was anything that original in the Red War campaign anyway. There was a lot of cliches. There were a lot of cliches. To allege that they stole the story or whatever. Okay. We'll see. A $5 super chat from Creature says, hang on. So we're looking dregs for the first time in how long? And chat's all calm? I think the chat's like me. I don't think the chat freaking cares about this game that much anymore. And Piker comes in and uses his Prime sub on me over here on Twitch. Thank you so much for doing that. Anytime you guys sub to me on Twitch, you will never see an ad on my channel. It does support me directly, obviously, but it also supports you. Like, you can watch with no ads. So thank you, everybody who's tuning in today. I would remind you guys that I am not in a 10 bomb from Creature comes in. He's like, what are y'all doing? He's like, wake up. And he bumps it to 35. There's currently a race to 50 incentive going on right now. Whoever hits 50 first, I'm going to drop a 20 bomb on him. YouTube's 15 away. Twitch is a little bit further. So thank you for that, Creature. I'm starting to pick up Borderlands 3 on PC. I have Flake is level 61. Oh, I don't know. I don't know much about Borderlands 3. I only played it that one time. Clearly, Lono is paying Creature too much money if he's dropping 10 bombs, says Nova. No, he's trying to stoke the fires here, and Karnak Ren answers over here on Twitch, and he drops his own 10 bomb, and he gets it to 24 for Twitch. We might have a little bit of a rock'em sock'em fight here. You guys have 12 minutes before the stream starts. Let's see it. Let's see the scramble. Let's see you guys put up a fight. You know what I mean? There's some big dogs hanging out on YouTube today, and they're being pretty quiet. So Twitch, you have a chance here. You have a chance to get to that 50 first before YouTube does. With the press of a button, a couple of these boys on YouTube could steal the glory. Oh, okay, that's fine. GTA 6 trailer 2, already covered it, already reacted, already on the channel. Never seen a membership drop by Creature. I think he's done it before when we've had like member trains. Yeah. Thank you for the first 100 likes on YouTube. Y'all are the best. You're going to play Red Dead 2. The new trailer just solidified why Rockstar is the king of the open world. I don't know. I'm very, very anxious to see how they're going to pull a lot of that stuff off. And a lot of what we were looking at were screenshots as well. I don't know. I think the actual trailer looked fine, but they're still not showing us gameplay. Still not showing us gameplay. Got a homeless ride sub or gift. Always take care of yourself first. We've got plenty of people here that generously give to the community. And if you get one, that's because you've been hanging out enough to get one. So the more often you're here, the more often you talk in chat. And you guys have a hype train on Twitch. You got a minute and a half before that goes away, if you want to try to push it. Will Nike's place screen space reflection well enough, or is it still unclear? It sounded like if it's off, if it's not in frame, it reflects it like more generically. If it's in frame, it reflects it more directly and higher resolution. It's the rough understanding that I got. And Spirits is going to renew their membership and bump the line to 36. And the total on the week for YouTube is now at 91. YouTube wants to run ads. I'm going to delay those ads for you guys. Hype train started. We got to, I'm telling you, you guys are going to have a knockdown, drag out fight. We got a renewal on YouTube to 37, but then a 5 bomb comes in and takes us to 29. Detonator gifts 5 members. First to 50 gets a 20 bomb. Let's see who gets there first. Thank you so much, Rite, for renewing your membership over here on YouTube. It's close. Twitch and YouTube 8 away from each other. We'll see where we end up. The viewership on Twitch is climbing. Thank you guys so much for being here. We have been back on Twitch for 3 weeks. Some of you might be wondering, like, what in the world? Where was this channel? Where did it go? Where did it come from? I've been building a variety gaming show on YouTube for about 4 years. I was emailing Dan Clancy back and forth for about 3 weeks, and he looked into the situation and welcomed us back to the platform, and I really, really appreciate him doing that. 4 years and 9 months later, having somebody take a peek at it and welcome us back was truly a nice thing. And a 10 bomb comes in from Quintar. Oh, Twitch, you better act quick. Oh, they're 3 away. It's pretty much over at this point. That's somebody's going to push that one over really, really quickly. Thank you so much for doing that, Quintar. Awesome to be back on Twitch. Congrats. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. We're very happy to be back. The support's been amazing. Follower count got reinstated. A lot of people are coming back, renewing their subs. So Purple needs all these fancy overlays. Feels bad. I mean, I can give you the same pop out when you guys did it. I just did it. I didn't do it for Detonator. There's the 5 bomb pop out for Detonator. There you go. I've got to turn all those alerts and stuff on. I just haven't had time to do it. I've been so stinking busy. Okay. My Discord was like slightly off. You cheering at Twitch? I'm telling them to answer back, man. First to 50. It's a race to 50. YouTube's 3 away. I said first to 50. I drop a 20 bomb. YouTube is literally letting Twitch have a shot. Like, they're not just putting the pedal all the way to the ground, and they totally could. Objection. I don't want to share our pop-ups with Twitch. They can get their own. Happy to see you. How well your Gears? Yeah, the Gears video took off. Yeah. The Arc Raiders video slowed down, and Stone Spire's going to gift one, and he's going to get us super close. Guys, it's over. There it is. A single from Stone Spire, a re-up from Punisher Matt, says almost 2 years. Thanks for making the workday. And then Mick D09 is going to do it. And there it is. And Creature tried to make it interesting on Twitch, but it's a little too late. And he gets us to 39. Twitch, once again, now on a bit of a hype train. Though. Hype train level 6 on Twitch, thanks to Creature going over there. He says, I tried to save you, Twitch. He did. He made a valiant effort. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 4 to add to the total count for you guys on YouTube. We're at 96. Mick 09 and Sneaky Wolf, thank you again. Sneaky Wolf's going to push us past to get us to 51. There it is. Hype train all aboard. That's right. Good to see you, Kevin George. How are you? Let's see here. Got 6 minutes and 20 seconds. I promised you guys a 20 bomb to the first platform to hit 50. I want to make good on that promise right now. Here you go. 20 members to YouTube. Appreciate you. It's taking a second. There it goes. I tried to help them. I mean, you know, Twitch fought valiantly that first week. They fought very valiantly that first week, but YouTube's just very, very consistent. They're very consistent with the generosity. YouTube has not slowed down at all, and we appreciate it. If you guys are on YouTube, we are still working on that Member Plus number. That's the number of people. That is the number of people who are paying directly for their own memberships, and that's extremely important to what we do. So whether or not you use your Prime, you pay to sub on Twitch, or you pay for Member Plus on YouTube, all of that helps us do what we do. Twitch needs time to find its regular gifters. Also, they should ask for increases in their allowances. That's right. 5 minutes till the show starts. Appreciate you guys. Make sure. Yeah, I got their music playing. Kevin says, chin up, Twitch. You'll get there one day. Ooh, that was good. Guys, if you're watching on YouTube, take a quick second and smash the like button. I know we don't ordinarily cover Destiny. We have covered Bungie. We've covered Marathon a bunch. I feel like this is relevant. I feel like this is, very, very relevant to the future of live service games, to the future of, Bungie's role at PlayStation. And so we appreciate you guys. We appreciate you guys being here and watching, supporting, commentating. Okay. I'm curious about what they show and what you say. Namely, I fell off Destiny hard before the last expansion. I don't have any interest in ever, playing the game or what, or being involved in the game, the community, or any of that. That's never been a desire of mine. There have been people, sometimes they're like, yo, this guy wants back in the community. No. No, I wouldn't crawl over broken glass. I would rather crawl over broken glass than try to get back in. That's just not an interest of mine. Not at all interested in that. I'm interested from a purely business perspective. Bungie is, spearheading Center for Live Service Excellence for Sony. They commentated on Last of Us Factions, Last of Us Online. I don't think they saw Concord. There have been people that have tried to lay Concord at their feet. I do not think so. I don't think so. PlayStation has officially uploaded the Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer 2 to their channel. Has Xbox done that? Are they doing like the full whammy push, or is PlayStation sort of giving that wink, nudge, nudge flex of like they're involved in the marketing now? I cannot play the game, Dan. No. In February of 2021, someone went in and dev banned me on Steam, and it's like for 500 years or something. I was never told a reason why. I never broke TOS. I never did anything. The last time I played the game, it was like a Saturday. I was hanging out with my son. He was doing Lost Sectors. Like, that was over 4 years ago. The hype train ends at level 6 on Twitch. Thank you guys so much for being a part of it. If you were a part of it, you get this little emote. Choo-choo. Yeah. There's only like 500 some odd years left on it or whatever. Did you play on PS5? No, because I had cross-save enabled. If I go and try and disable cross-save, it says there's an error that needs to be resolved. And it's like a 500-year ban on Steam. So. Currently, just out of curiosity, I appealed it, and I haven't got a response, and it's been like 3 weeks. I just think they've got it set to ignore. The last time I appealed it, somebody said, we can't even look at this. Like, it was above their pay grade, basically. Like, it was above the moderation team, because they weren't the ones that did it. Yo, it's good, Scornful. How are you? We're 496 years away from the unban. It's doable, for sure. Oh, I'm going to delay ads. Hang on. I'm delaying the ads. We got a minute. 1 minute. Stream starts soon. Twitch, I'm feeling generous. If you guys hit 50, I'll do the same thing. You need 11 more. Come on, boys. Come on. At least tie it up. At least make it interesting. Show a little flex here with YouTube. I'll do it. I'll do a 20 over there as well. If you guys are watching on YouTube, I need you to double and triple check that it saved your like. It's being weird again. Let's try to get to 200 likes before the show starts. Asian Common music in the trailer. Yeah. I'm going to turn their music on. I'm going to turn my music off. Thank you for the $2 super chat, Jerry. Oh, there it is. Pork Pie is saying, okay, fine. I'll help out. And he makes it easy. He gifts 6 and gets us to 45. Thank you so much, Pork Pie. Making it interesting. Hopefully it's decent. I think I'm the most interested in, like, what they say beyond. Like, beyond whatever's next. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1. Bank those moats. Summon a primeval. All right, here we go.
What follows light and shadow is silence. That silence breaks. I am summoning you as a new age begins. I see sapient life turn to each other. They remember how to look to the stars. They remember curiosity. They remember how to thrive.
You hear the classic music?
But they have forgotten. They forgot we were here long before the Traveler. They forgot that they need us. But they are fated to remember. I will remind them. I'm sure you will, but not through me. Find someone else.
She's a guardian?
My will is my own.
All right, everyone, hello and welcome here to Bungie HQ in beautiful Bellevue, Washington. We have got an amazing stream lined up for you to tell you a little bit about the Edge of Fate and the future of Destiny 2 as well. My name's Andy. I work on the social media team here, but no need to worry. As always, I am joined by some of my amazing colleagues here at Bungie to share some of the finer details of the stuff that we're going to be getting into today. So, how about we go ahead and get into it so we can show you what we got. Starting first with this gentleman on my right and to your left is someone that you've probably seen if you've tuned into our streams before or Vidocs, the one and only Mr. Robbie Stevens, Assistant Game Director here at Bungie. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Andy. It's always a pleasure to spend a day with you.
Yeah, it's been a nice time, honestly, hasn't it?
Yeah,
well,
always.
To that end as well, for anyone that doesn't get to hang out as much as we do, can you tell everyone at home a little bit about yourself and what you do here?
Yeah, sure. So I'm one of the creative and game directors for the game. So that means like I'm a vision holder and I work across the entire Destiny team with people like Allison and Dylan on the couch here to chart a new course for Destiny and a new future for the game. And just incredibly excited to be sharing with everyone today of what we've been up to.
Yeah, can't wait. We've got a big show ahead, so thank you for being here.
Yeah, of course.
And of course, as we move, right on down the line, someone who again has also had the good opportunity to join us on these streams as well, and is now firing some finger guns like a pro. Destiny's narrative director, the one and only Allison Lures. Allison,
hello.
How's it going?
It's going so good. I'm here on a couch and I get to yell about Destiny with you. So it's a good day.
Yeah, honestly, I'll take that anytime I can. Well,
Same.
For anyone who also hasn't had a chance to yell on couches about Destiny with us or hasn't joined us in the past, do you mind telling us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So my name is Allison. I'm the narrative director for Destiny 2, and so that means it's the job of me and my team to make you laugh and make you cry and make you go, whoa, I totally forgot about this thing from 8 years ago. How did they remember? It's because we're good at our jobs.
It's true.
So there you
yeah.
go.
As someone who gets to sit in on the writers' rooms, I can now doubly confirm that. So thank you for
having
being
you
here.
there.
So much fun. No, seriously, thank you so much. And of course, as we move right on down the line, the gentleman there at the very end of the couch, someone who is a friend to all Guardian kind, who's known far and wide, a member of the Destiny Global Comms team here at Bungie, Mr. Dylan Gaffner. How's it going, Dylan?
It's going well. How are you, Andy?
I'm doing so well. Thank you so much for.
Got to make sure to ask every time.
I appreciate it.
Oh my gosh.
Well, to anyone out
I didn't even recognize him. That's DMG.
just somehow meeting you for the first time, do you mind telling us about what you do here at Bungie?
My name is Dylan Gaffner, formerly community team, where we would go out, collect your feedback, translate it to the dev team, and then bring their information back to you, kind of be that middleman. Now I'm on Global Comms, so I'm going to be in more of like a puzzle piece organization stage of what do we talk about, when do we talk about it, why do we talk about it, and then just making sure we get the information out to all players.
Yeah, well, we all appreciate it. Thank you for always being the voice of the player inside our hallowed halls. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, well, now that we've kind of got the intros out of the way, let's talk about our new song.
Yeah, DMG wasn't at the company for a while. He recently came back. I think it was sometime last year, I think.
Expansion this year, The Edge of Fate, is the start of a brand new multi-year saga called the Fate Saga. And so we want to tell a story about something older, about the nature of fate itself. Are we bound by it? Can we fight it? Because before the Traveler ever arrived in our solar system, there was already space magic here, Andy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so ultimately, this is a story that we're going to explore one of Destiny's biggest mysteries and the foundations of the universe itself.
You're talking about the Nine, aren't you?
Who
Yeah.
told you?
I think it's
Subtle,
How did
I
you
know.
guess?
Yeah.
Set you off.
We did such a good job with this secret.
We buried that lead, didn't we?
Yeah, just a little bit.
That's, but I mean, to that end, so who and maybe more appropriately, what are the Nine?
Yeah, so buckle up. In the simplest description possible, the Nine are extraordinarily powerful beings that have been in the solar system for way, 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 way longer than the Traveler. We can think of them as being kind of connected to each of the major celestial bodies in Sol. So that's each of our 8 planets plus the sun. Sorry, Pluto.
It's messed up.
Didn't make the cut.
All right, fair.
I don't make the rules. Yeah, there you go. But the important thing to know about them is that this is why we're going to be so focused on the solar system for the next saga. We want to ask questions about our home that we've never asked before.
Yeah. So when it comes to the Nine, obviously, Eagle-Eyed Guardians have been able to spot references to them for quite some time, whether it be outright ominous or a straight-up game show in some cases. Can you tell us a little bit maybe about what we should expect from them?
Expect to be surprised. We're, like you said, the lore of the Nine really ranges from like Star Horse infinitely neighing to the Nine doing genuinely awful, awful things in our lore. And so the important thing to know about them is that the Nine are individuals. This isn't a collective. It's not like a hive mind. Each of them are kind of their own being, their own person in the loose definition of a person. They have different wants and desires. They can ally with different members and fight with different members too. In the words of one of our characters really early on, there are aliens, and then there's aliens, and then there are aliens, and that latter one is what the 9 are qualified as.
Fair enough. All right, so beings of obviously immense power, or something that the Guardians have gone toe-to-toe with in the past. We've even faced off against the very embodiment of the darkness itself.
Yeah.
What could be tougher than that?
Yeah, so this is something that we think about a lot about, because ultimately the 9 seek to free themselves at no matter the cost to humanity. And because they're extra dimensional in the ways that Allison are describing, they're not bound by the same rules that we are, that we've really experienced before in the game today. And so humanity and the Guardians, to many of them, are ultimately just bugs that can be squashed on, that they don't really care or think about beyond, achieving their ultimate goals. So.
Yeah, I mean, like, for the last 10 years, Guardians have really just been making their own fate.
Yeah.
I mean, so the 9 is challenging that. How are we going to deal with it?
Yeah, whether we like it or not, the 9 have a plan for us. And like you said, Guardians are really good at making their own fate and going out and deciding who they want to be. But what happens when them deciding to make our own fate is exactly what our fate is? Like, what if that was the plan all along? These are extra-dimensional beings. That means they perceive our reality in a very different way and can interact with it in a very different way.
It's like they're a move ahead in chess.
Weird.
What a reference. But you were mentioning, obviously, the Fate Saga is one of the subjects of today. How long can we expect the Fate Saga to last?
Yeah, so the Fate Saga is going to play out over several years, and ultimately, we know where we're driving this car. We know where we're going with it. But the conclusion of the Edge of Fate itself is going to leave you with more questions than answers, and it's going to be the catalyst into this new multi-year saga, because we really want to return Destiny to being
No. They just had a chess puzzle in the game, y'all. They just had a chess puzzle in the game. Just chill. Just chill, chat.
Engine of the game. So we're going to be revealing a lot of ideas, a lot of concepts, and many of them we're not going to be answering immediately, because we're going to be telling the story over multiple expansions, and we're going to be giving you those expansion beats more times than we have before in the past. And so the Year of Prophecy kicks off with the Fate Saga, and with it, humanity is now set on a collision course with this celestial pantheon of the system that has been here for a very, very long time. And so the Edge of Fate launches on July 15th. And then the second expansion of our Year of Prophecy is Renegades, which comes this winter. And then later in 2026, we've got Shattered Cycle and The Alchemist. It's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of exciting beats. And so, again, the Edge of Fate is just the beginning of this long journey of this awesome vehicle we're all jumping into and driving together, and it's going to take us to some new places.
That's exciting. So with regards to the Edge of Fate right here in front of us, you were also nice enough to bring the class something today. You've got some gameplay with you, right?
Oh, yeah, we got some clips.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we should show those off.
It's a doozy.
Let's check it
Like
out.
the present. Let's check it out.
Observe, connect, conceal. Guardian, I had a vision. Conform, comply, return. They just wanted to show us disasters. Observe, connect, conceal. I'm not human anymore. Return, conform, comply. No one else should know what this feels like. Terminate your suspicion, Commander. Remove your scornful blindfold. Observe, connect, conceal, conform, comply, return. Observe, connect, conceal, conform, comply, connect, return.
All right, that gives us an awful lot to go ahead and continue to dive into. And here to help us go ahead and explore a little bit more of it, everyone, you probably noticed we've been joined by someone new here on the couch. We are privileged to be joined by someone who's the originator of perhaps my favorite all-time Destiny emote, the one and only Dave Samuel, art director here at Bungie. Dave, how's it going,
sound
man?
effects guy.
It's going great. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. For anyone who maybe for some reason somehow doesn't have that emote in their collection or hasn't seen you in a past Vidoc, do you mind telling us a little bit about what you do here at Bungie?
Yeah, I'm art director on Edge of Fate. I work with the art team to visualize the narrative and design and kind of bring it all together.
It's a lot to bring together. Thank you very much for being here today. Yeah. So with the Edge of Fate, it's obviously the first expansion in the Fate Saga. Allison, I'd love to start with you, actually. What can you tell us about the Edge of Fate?
The Edge of Fate begins with an invitation, and we are invited along with a very specific group of people to a location, to a moment in time for a very specific reason.
Very specific.
Yeah, if a new person joins the couch every time, and they end up with like 10 people on the couch.
And so you may be saying, now, Allison, hold your horses for seconds,
Yeah.
because the Kepler I know is the one that's way outside of our galaxy. What do you mean we're going to Kepler? And I say, like, dear friend, didn't you know if you look inside in Destiny's universe, the Oort cloud at the edge of the solar system, you'll find a little planetoid that also happens to be named Kepler here in the world of Destiny. And that's where we're going, to Kepler.
Super exciting. This is kind of a, Robbie, we were talking kind of before the show, this is like like a first taste of something new, right?
Yeah, so what you're seeing here is us just trying something new. We're expanding the universe of Destiny, creating new mysteries to uncover. This whole destination is about exploring a labyrinthian world that it took inspirations from things like Dreaming City, exotic missions, dungeons, and it's wrapping it all through a Metroidvania expired experience. And so at the heart of all of this, at the heart of the Edge of Fate, is a player-driven exploration and discovery of an exotic world with brand new abilities.
So actually to even just maybe dig a little bit deeper, like how is the Edge of Fate going to be different from past expansions that we've made for Destiny?
Yeah, so at the global scale, when we're thinking about expansions in the Year of Prophecy and the formula of Destiny expansions going forward, first off, we're doing 2 expansions a year instead of just 1. And think of each of these expansions as a little bigger than something like a Rise of Iron from D1. And so both of these expansions combined are going to be even more expansion content than we've done in the past. And by delivering 2 of these a year, we're upping the pace of major world and story events that really matter to players and are going to be pushing the Fate Saga forward. And so we're trying radical new things with each of these expansions. And so alongside this new destination of Kepler, this exotic world that players will explore with brand new abilities, we also have world tiers. And world tiers allow you to take on a higher level of challenge on the destination in order to extract some of the best loot within the release. But what's cool about world tiers is as you play through the mainline story and you play through the first couple of world tiers,
world tiers, man, I remember that.
Claiming these abilities as you're exploring the world more, as you're discovering more within the release, you're putting these puzzle pieces together and you're figuring out how to solve all the mysteries on Kepler with different ways. And so you might play a puzzle in one way, a mission in one way, and when you're in these higher world tiers in the post game, you can start to solve these problems in different ways that you couldn't before in the original playthrough. And so alongside all of this, we're also going to have a ton of quest content that we're rethinking about how we use within the game. And so on Kepler, there's some non-linearity within the destination itself. And so with a lot of our side quest content that is related to the critical path, but you don't have to play it. It's there for you to explore. It's driven by your discovery of the world. You're out in the field, you discover something and you pick it up, and that's going to help you explore the characters in the world of Kepler more and go deeper on that story. And so, yeah, again, this is all about us just looking at the formulas that we've been building in Destiny over the last 10 years. And some of them are really strong, but they're due for some experimentation and some radical changes. And so that's what you're seeing here with the first taste of the Edge of Fate.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I love everything you just said. I was a little distracted by some of the gameplay we were showing, like exotic sniper rifle, I think I saw, kind of recognize that.
Oh, yeah.
Some enemies with a couple really cool twists, like, okay.
Yeah.
But then also there was a Guardian that turned into like a lightning ball. Yeah.
Yeah. So, so there's multiple new abilities that your players are going to be able to discover on Kepler that's going to make them navigate and look at the world in different ways. But the one you're talking about, Dylan, we see it as our premier ability, the crown jewel to release, and that's called.
Yeah, Dirge. I don't want to project. Obviously, everything I say about Bungie, people are going to think that there's some kind of an agenda. I feel like their presentations recently, both Marathon and this one, I don't know, man. It just doesn't feel like it typically does.
So the Guardian binds itself to the dark matter using the arc powers within. You can think of the dark matter as like a medium, and the arc as this catalyst that will like allow you to completely change form. Transforming into Matter Spark lets you squeeze into tight areas, race around areas, jump over stuff, and it also allows you to turn into this basically electric rolling ball of death, jolting and shocking enemies that come across your path.
So obviously, one big part movement, one big part combat, but I mean, even just in addition to that, to look a little bit, wider, like how did the Matter Spark Ball kind of influence the world that we're going to be inhabiting?
Yeah, the team really had to rethink what it means to build a destination with these abilities.
Am I the only one that doesn't think that's that compelling to like roll around the ground as an electric ball?
A crack in the wall, it basically will reveal a whole new area to explore. It's also a new way to engage with enemies. Instead of taking a bunch of enemies head on, you can find a Matter Spark pad, transform, turn into this electric ball of death, and then just like start racing around the arena, dash over their heads, and flank from behind, and then really give the House of Exile on Kepler a bad day.
As well we should. It's a good day for us as well. So what are some of the other Kepler abilities that we'll be able to unlock while we're out?
I thought when they said Metroidvania, you'd get like abilities that would like take you to new places or things, not like literally a ball.
Relocator cannon, which is this new fallen dark matter tech mixed with void. This is going to allow you to bypass laser walls, use these cascading relay networks, and just basically teleport around the world. Another ability that we have is Mattermorph. This is dark matter mixed with strand, allows you to manipulate the environment. You'll be able to basically push and morph and move geometry to create bridges, open up doorways, and then also reveal secrets and new opportunities.
Yeah, so what's really important about what Dave is describing, and when we were thinking about building this world, it was all about like, hey, here's this new tool to navigate and see the world in a different way and solve little puzzles and mysteries throughout the missions, the free roam, and the quest content, and beyond. But also what was really important to us is that we lean into Destiny's first-class ability gameplay. And so with Matter Spark, like Dave is mentioning, you're jumping, you're dashing into enemies to destroy them. You're doing giant explosions with them. With the Relocator Cannon, you're just blowing everything up with void explosions and graviton lance style like little secret projectiles. And then what's really fun about Mattermorph is you can just be like throwing these strange shurikens basically to just like delete an encounter before you then like start to morph the environment around you and move to the next area. And so it's just really exciting I'm incredibly excited about watching players just like solve puzzles and fight encounters in ways that like we don't even expect yet, and see how they take on the destination. And just like
what's Cross saying? Come on, man. This is not it, chat. This doesn't feel like the action power fantasy that they typically sell you. It feels like silly.
Matter.
yes.
We have darkness abilities like Strand and Stasis already. Like, how is dark matter different?
Yeah, so dark matter and darkness are two completely separate things. They're completely different things. But dark matter does exist in our world. In the world of Destiny, we know it as being tightly connected to the Nine. It's what the Nine are actually made out of. In our world, dark matter is invisible. You can't really see it. And it wouldn't be very fun to make a destination where there's an invisible thing that you can't actually see. So lucky for us.
Yeah, I'm just going to say, like, I kind of anticipate them spending the next couple of, like, installments. I would think you would just kind of blow the doors off the game. Like, give us insane powers, insane guns, insane abilities. Like, just go crazy. Like, let us turn into a ball, so roll around for puzzles. Like, if the game's going EOL, like, you're coasting, man. Go wild. Go nuts.
I do have to put on my drift.
Yo, thank you, Devil's Cup, for the sub on Twitch. 3 months.
What does it smell like? What does it taste like?
Yeah. Dark matter smells and tastes like bleach and math. Yeah, it's true.
Cannot wait to get that chip flavor.
Yeah.
Get it with a sandwich today after.
It's zesty.
Yeah, it's really good. Actually, so on the topic too of stuff in the trailer as well, we heard someone talking there. Can you tell us who that was?
Sure. That was Lodi. Lodi is a new character that we're introducing in Apollo. Not in Apollo. We're introducing him in the Edge of Fate.
Yeah.
I want to give a special shout out to Brian Villalobos, who portrays Lodi and does spectacular job. This character is fascinating. He's kind of a fish out of water, but the fun thing about tropes is to kind of put a twist on them, right? So what if that fish that we pulled out of the water was the most qualified fish to be pulled out into the air?
Down for anything.
It's down for anything.
Yeah.
And what if that fish was kind of made to be pulled out of the water? I don't want to give away too much because this character is way more fun for the players to figure out what his deal is, but I will say that Lodi is very, very far from home.
Very fair, very exciting. So,
I do have to call out too, before we started this, you and Robbie were talking about how Lodi is like a notice me character.
Oh yeah, Robbie wanted a senpai.
I did. Yeah, I wanted someone that I just wanted to spend a bunch of time with on this new adventure we're going on.
Yeah, a friend that we can look up to.
Yeah.
right, yeah. Notice me.
Notice
Notice
me,
me.
Lodi.
Yeah, of course.
He
It
will,
writes
he
itself.
Wait,
or rather,
what?
Allison does.
What did they do?
With regards to the characters as well, so is it a whole new
Did they not see that?
No, we're going
They
to
put
some
me in the
faces
game?
like Lodi and other characters,
No, they
but we're
didn't.
also going
No,
To
they
see-
didn't.
Right, yeah.
Where?
too much to be pulled, right? So it's kind of I want to give a special shout out to Brian
What the
Villalobos,
frick,
who
man?
portrays Lodi and does a spectacular job. This character
What the frick, bro? Look at the red. What? I want some royalties. I'm just kidding.
is to call it. So going to see some familiar ones too. Ikora is here. The stakes are high enough that she's here investigating what's going on. And as it turns out, in one of our major mysteries, she's kind of at the center of it. She was invited here, as was Lodi.
Yo, they're gonna kill him in a really violent way. That's what this is about. This is personal, y'all. This is personal, Bungie.
All these characters, their fates are intertwined in some way. There's these puppet masters that have been pulling the strings for a very, very long time in order for everyone to get here at this moment. And so, as a guardian and these characters involved, they're going to have to decide if they're fight your fate. Like that's what we think about for these individuals. That's what they're going to have to.
His
go
name starts with an L. Lodi? Come on, man. What are they playing at?
by the nine because they are
At least unban me so I can play the game and watch him die.
their future and the future of Soul itself.
So with regard to these new characters and this world we find ourselves in, was there anything about that setting or in particular that really influenced the creation, rather, of this world that we're going to be inhabiting?
Yeah, I'll give you a list of fun facts. First off, if you've been paying attention to Destiny over the last week or so, you already know that there's been people on Kepler for a long time. That's an old-ass computer that you were putting those numbers into. We also know that the Vex are here. They're studying the Nine because it turns out the Nine can do something that the Vex can't. As Dave mentioned, the House of Exile are also here. They've become fixated on a being that they call the Giver. And kind of most importantly, the dimensionality on Kepler is really thin.
Every 25 bounties, he gives you 5.
that the Nine live in. And that means some things from Earth's past have been yanked into Kepler's present.
Yeah, I mean, so we've been talking about invitations throughout this, and we need to call out an invitation that's actually going to be waiting in the game after this is over. Rite of the Nine begins today.
Yeah.
So I believe we have a trailer to show.
Yeah, you were nice enough to bring a trailer along. I'll go ahead and give it a look really quickly.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Rite of the Nine.
All right, so that's Rite of the Nine, which is our essential prologue story for the Edge of Fate. And these 3 dungeons that are featured in this event are free for all players starting today. And so what's really important about this is that these dungeons are both for veteran dungeon crawlers, hardcore raiders, people have been in these places a lot, but also new Guardians who have never stepped into a dungeon before, right? What was really important for us when we were developing Rite of the Nine was that we are changing the formula on how we can think about how we can welcome even more people into these experiences. And so you're going to be able to go in solo, buffed up, and explore a dungeon by yourself, or go in match made with other fire team members shoulder to shoulder for the very first time. But don't worry, because we also have that higher level challenge for our veteran, our hardcore dungeon crawlers, where you're going to be able to earn the best possible loot, exclusive rewards, and also an exclusive title as part of Rites of the Nine. What's also really important about this event for being a prologue for the Edge of Fate is that it really reintroduces the emissary into the game, and you're going to learn why her job is pretty crappy and why she quits at the top of the Edge of Fate, like we saw at the beginning of this show. And so, Andy, we've been talking a bunch about how our Destiny expansions are changing the formula for Destiny going forward. So now I think it's time for us to start talking about how the core hobby of Destiny is changing going forward, the day-to-day of playing Destiny, week over week experience. And we've got someone else on the couch here to help us talk about that.
We have an expert in that very subject now who has gone ahead and joined us on the couch. We are now joined by the one and only Mr. Ben Womack, creative director here on Destiny. Ben, how's it going, man?
Hey, I'm doing great. I'm really excited to be here. There's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, seriously.
There is a lot.
Yeah, it's going to be a very good conversation we have coming up.
Yes.
But before we get into that, can you tell us just a little bit about what you do here?
Yeah. So I'm the Destiny 2 creative director for the core game, or the core hobby, as we call it.
Yeah.
And it has to do with all parts of the game, everything from Edge of Fate, through our seasons, through the fundamental systems. And in particular, like Robbie was saying, I've been focusing on thinking about the kind of building blocks of Destiny 2 and getting those like not only stood up, but also transformed and iterated on in some really exciting new places.
Nice. Well, let's go ahead and just start at the top. Can you tell us a little bit about what the core formula of Destiny is changing and why?
Yes. So I think I need to start with the why first, because it's important to think about what is Destiny, what is great about Destiny. And Destiny is best when you have awesome chases that you're excited about. You have really cool, powerful builds to make, and there's a mountain to climb that's right in front of you that you want to climb. You're like, I want that mountain. It looks pretty cool. And the thing that is not always true right now in Destiny is it doesn't feel streamlined as it could. Players don't have as much agency. We want to be player-driven. We want to be more rewarding than we are. Because right now there are barriers to playing Destiny in the best way. And those barriers are insurmountable sometimes. So think about that whole...
I know what that's like.
What is the Destiny that we really want, that has been in the past, that we also want to get back to, and where we want to go for the future? That's where all the changes you're going to see have started, at their inception point. So it's a big piece of the pie.
Massive updates coming across so many systems of the game, and we're just getting in, digging into the surface.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to that same end, then, how are we making it easier? Pardon me, to go ahead and just get straight into the fun.
Oh no, let's do it, because that's exactly what we want to do. Yeah. And the first thing you're going to see when you log into Destiny with Edge of Fate, you're going to log in your character and see your ship in orbit. It's going to say, it's not going to say open director. It's going to say open portal. And the portal is our new front page of the game. We're trying to get you to the fun as fast as possible and as few clicks as we can. We even have Edge of Fate there in the corner, so that it's right immediately there. No fumbling around with the map to get to it, really. Yeah. And we're also taking other big parts of the game, the ritual game and for seasons, and putting them into these ops categories. So the idea is that we're having these different ops for different moods. We're having solo ops. We have a bunch of fire team ops. We have pinnacle ops, and of course we have crucible ops, still super important for the game.
Yeah. I mean, to start up at the top, can you tell us a little bit more about what
Don't
solo
forget,
ops
Oh yeah. So
don't forget about Crucible, y'all. Don't forget about Crucible.
It is a bunch of activities that are made for solo players, and the conception point of that was we want to make activities for players who have a smaller amount of time that they want to play in, and they don't necessarily want to have dependencies on other players, but they still want to get in there and play for 10 to 15 minutes and get some real progress.
Yeah, get some loot.
Yeah, get some loot.
Yeah.
Get some loot and get your character forward and feel like, I played some Destiny and that was great. And even if you don't feel like playing with other people, that's fine, because we have an activity type that is designed for one player.
Excellent. So, I mean, to that same end, what are some other ways that we can play and have fun using Portal as well?
Yeah, so Robbie actually has a great way of talking about this. So
Yeah, some of the North Star that is what we talk about when we were developing the portal early on was like, where are we headed with this thing? And ultimately, it's play your way. It's giving players more agency, more personal drive to figure out how they want to engage with the power climb and the new progression systems coming and our seasons. And so the entirety new progression and power climb is now all available to you in the portal at your fingertips in one place. It's really easy to find, really easy to jump in. Anything you play inside of that category is any of those categories is gonna help you make progress. And so, because we want Destiny to be welcoming not only to new players, but also old players who are coming back to the game to join us with the Edge of Fate. And we also want this to be like a new even playing field for everyone. And so, as part of this is a commitment from us as part of the core hobby and all the seasonal content we're building, that we're going to be continually investing in this, right? We're going to be continually updating this over time for years to come. And so, you're asking me directly, like, what else is there to do?
Yeah.
Ben mentioned solo ops. We also have the fire team ops and pinnacle ops. Both of these are more around playing with other fire team members, shoulder to shoulder, where fire team ops are more quicker sessions. There are some longer form things in it too, but then pinnacle ops are more about those really long form or more challenging kind of focused activities like exotic missions, for instance. And so, and then the one thing we haven't talked about yet very deeply, but is incredibly important, and it's something that I think we've done for the first time, like ever, or maybe since early D1.
It's kind of a return to form.
Yeah. You're going to be able to experience the entirety of the power climb within Crucible Ops by playing PvP, right? So this means like, if you want to be sweaty, Andy, which like I know you, Dylan, too. I know you're that way, right? Like I know both of y'all. Like if you want to put the sweatbands on, you're going to be able to play the entire experience in the season here and earn some of the highest tier loot that's also available in the game. So,
I have to say, this is like super exciting because like my player type or other folks out in the community, like they want to go in, they want to jam on PvP, but then their friends invite them to do a dungeon or a higher tier activity, and they're like, oh wait, I need to grind a long time to get up to power. Now through PvP, they can get up to power, and you can just bring them into that PvE experience and have a fun time with each other.
Yeah.
So.
That's honestly how I primarily played D1, so I'm really looking forward to that. So it sounds like the core, obviously, of what you guys are talking about, play the way you want to play. It's at the center of all of it. What if I really want to challenge myself, push myself?
Oh yeah,
That's
important to us.
Depth.
That's important to us.
Well, depth, but also success.
Yes,
and
that's true.
From it,
That's
right?
true. Yeah.
Yeah, and so we really want to give agency. That's one of the things. Agency player driven towards loot and challenge. And so we have a really hugely expanded activity customization system.
Oh, that's an old name. Milky, 46 months. Welcome back, dude.
The old modifiers that we've released in the past that are going to make this big curated web of options for you to experience any of the PvE content in the curator. And so, like,
not as old as you. Hey.
As well, we also have boons to help you like get advantages in your activities and for your build. We have challenges and trade-offs. And the fun part is you're going to get these different combinations that are available, and you're going to then make a mix that's actually going to change the way you play and be pretty interesting, and sometimes the way you prefer you play. Like there's a new boon called Grappler that I personally love. It's kind of my preferred way to play, where they give you 3 grapple grenades replacing your current grenade. You can't do the melee, but they recharge super fast. So any build you want, you could now Spider-Man around any map. It's actually super fun.
It's so fun. Yeah, and I mean, like, what's at the heart of what Ben is talking about is what we kind of call the virtuous cycle, right? Where you're going to be crafting your build, tinkering with the activity, looking at like how you can earn a higher tier of reward by taking on a higher challenge. And as you earn better loot, you're looking towards that next mountain to climb just ahead of you all the time. And so this is really about how far you want to push yourself upwards within the portal itself. But also, we also are thinking about the people, and that's the depth, right? That's the depth of the challenge that we're talking about. That's also, but we're also thinking about the people who don't have as much time to play with like solo ops, and also if you're scared of modifiers or you're scared of customizing these activities.
Or you just don't feel like
doing it. Yeah, that's a great way to describe it. Thank you. We have a bunch of quick play options, right, Ben?
Yeah, quick play options, and we actually have matchmaking and fire team ops. And we have fire team finder, and so you're able to like really choose kind of what you're in the mood for.
Oh yeah, we technically have matchmaking across every activity that exists.
Except for solo ops, because that's solo.
Right.
But yes, otherwise,
but in the fire teams and pinnacle ops, it's everything.
Yeah, you'll have options to play by yourself or with other people. Oh, actually, a really fun part is you can play a strike by yourself as hard as you want it to now,
true. Yeah.
which is really fun. Yeah.
Well, you're talking about like all the different boons and combinations. I think at one point you were saying around 50 or something like that. Those
50 new ones.
50 new ones.
Yeah.
So it's like you can take those into solo ops. Like we're talking about this being kind of leisurely, bite-sized activity, but if you want to take it and say, I don't want Weenie Hut Jr., I want like esoteric level solo, hardest thing in the world, like you can kind of customize and do that.
You can just do it from the very start if you really want to.
Yeah.
And
Depends on how deep
Darth Vader's in Destiny now.
and
Oh
the
yeah.
point is that you're going to like stretch that far, and we want the reward to feel like worthwhile.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, you want to feel like as you're pushing yourself, you are rewarded for it. That is
Yeah.
something that's really important to the vision here for the board.
Thanks for 41 months, Matt. He says, just make D3
a
already.
lot of rewards aren't there.
It's funny you mentioned it. Yeah, we've got Banes, boons, modifiers, but let's talk about gear for a little bit here.
Yeah.
What's changing about loot, and why should Guardians care?
Yeah, so like talking about chases and mountains and builds, like gear's at the center of all of that. And we actually have two giant gear changes I'm going to like put in two little buckets for us to talk about.
Yep.
The first one is Armor 3.0, and the next one is gear tiers. And so like talking about Armor 3.0 first, we are probably making the biggest change ever since Shadowkeep.
It's
around
huge.
the system. It's
Yeah,
enormous.
It's a huge change.
Yeah, so like we're adding set bonuses, which is a long requested feature
Yeah.
for all the new armor that you're going to be able to get at Edge of Fate launch, and we're redoing all the stats on armor where they can now like exceed 100.
Go beyond 100.
Go beyond 100 for extra bonuses.
Yep.
We're going to every single piece of new legendary armor that drops is going to have all the energy filled in, so you can build crafting right away, and it's going to essentially like. There's more features actually that I could talk about, but I don't think I'm allowed to yet.
Fair. Well, something that we can talk about too, you mentioned gear tiers as well.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so gear tiers are very exciting because every single legendary weapon and armor that you can get is going to have 5 gear tiers, starting from 1 going up to 5. And like we have a 5 gear tier 5 piece of legs armor on the screen right now, and you can see that like this is like looks really cool with iconography, but it also has a ton more stats. And oh look, what's that?
Yeah, what's going on with the energy there?
Yeah, the energy.
Ben?
Yeah, the energy says 11, and it's true.
11. Yep.
It's not a typo. Like energy is going to 11 for higher tier armor, and so if you want that for your build crafting opportunities, it does like give you some new options you never had before. You're gonna have to challenge yourself to get more higher tier armor and keep on going to get yet more higher tier armor to get those options.
Yeah. And this is also not something that's just relegated to armor, right? When it comes to weapons, they're obviously getting their own refresh as well.
Yes,
I mean, what's Destiny without chasing some?
You read
hot
my mind.
weapons?
Yeah, like weapons
seriously.
are part of the player identity. You know, some people like have a gun that they love.
You got fashion, and then you have gunplay,
That's
right?
true, though we do have fashion for your guns a bit now.
Hey.
well, so because once you reach tier 5 for your legendary drops, you're going to be getting tier 5 weapons, and those have unique shader treatment. It's like essentially a completely different look that's going to immediately identify it to you and others that this is the highest tier gear of this drop that you can get.
This right here, this image right here, just shows how
When you kill
much they feel like they've lost their way. That looks amazing, right? That gun looks incredible. Like, that should be the centerpiece of everything you do, man. The guns and the gunplay and the action, not turning into a ball and looking at stats and stuff. Like, this right here, it took that long. How long we've been watching this? 45 minutes?
Edge of Fate right now, and it's what's really exciting about it for me is that like when you see that tier 5 drop, like you know immediately that's better than like a tier 3 or tier 4 weapon that you have, right? And I think that's when we talk about making Destiny easier to just jump in, find the fun, make it accessible, but also create more depth.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna
This
watch
is
on my
what we're
phone.
thinking
I
about.
gotta
It's
use
like,
the
how can you just
restroom.
make immediate, like you understand, like okay, this is probably better than the thing I have right now, depending on what gear tier it is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good example of how much time and effort is being put into these game systems to make them more like approachable. Change can be scary. There's a lot of change that's about to come to the game. We're Armor 3.0, we have so many new boons, we have a bunch of new stuff. And after 10 years of Destiny, this is going to flip some stuff on its head. So, I mean, we're going to have a bunch of blog content. We're going to have interviews with Robbie, with Ben, with more folks across the team that have been working on this. And then we'll also be elevating our creator community when they're creating guides, all that kind of stuff. It's going to be a fun time. But ultimately, a big shout out and thank you to all the folks that have been coming into our studio, giving feedback early on some of these systems so they can be more approachable. And we're looking forward to all the feedback that's going to be coming after launch too. Like this is again one of our first steps into something, and then the community and we are going to build something amazing.
Yeah, and I can't stress enough how much feedback we've gotten from the community summits we've been running over the last year for the Edge of Fate, and just people reaching out to the community teams and others to us. Like your feedback is invaluable. So like seriously, like thank you so much. We're making this game together ultimately.
Yeah, it's incredibly important part of the process. Like I don't think we would be able to make what we do without it.
Yeah.
working with the community is obviously a core part. Dylan, huge thanks to you and your team, obviously, for helping to lead that charge. And in advance for the big blogs you get to write. And then also our social media team will go ahead and get out the door. So go ahead and give us a follow.
I think, Ben, you were saying you wanted to try to break the record for longest twid?
I'm more predicting we are.
Yeah. So
it's not about try, it's the state of things.
It's going to be a multi-month journey as we head towards launch. So.
Yeah, be a good time. But, you know, we've been talking a lot about the core Destiny hobby. How does that extend into like how players are going to experience like a full year of Destiny?
Yeah, so we've been focusing on improving and changing the formula of Destiny in multiple ways. And so progressing through the Fate Saga is going to be more meaningful with 2 expansions a year. We've been talking about how focusing our seasons on the core hobby of Destiny and that commitment to continually updating it. And in addition, we're going to have 2 free major updates between each of our major expansions coming in the Year of Prophecy and beyond. And so ultimately that means there's 4 big beats happening in a year, 2 expansions, 2 free major updates between those expansions. So what that means we're not doing is paid seasonal content anymore. We're not doing separate seasonal storylines. And this also means we're not building a bunch of activity content that basically just goes away and is less meaningful to the game after 3 months. So we're instead focusing all of that effort that used to go there instead into building up the core hobby of the game so the core hobby stays fresh and exciting, year round. And so ultimately, this means no more paywalls for seasonal content, and also these major updates themselves that I'm signposting around right now. The size of them, roughly, and the inspiration for them, we're thinking about is like Into the Light.
Okay.
So when you say like Into the Light, for folks that aren't out there, like what for a major update, how big is that? Like, how do you encapsulate that?
So when I say Into the Light, a lot of this is like the inspiration of what it was. And with Into the Light came a really cool theme that wrapped around all the new stuff we were building within it, but also a lot of the reprise stuff as well. And also, with it came Onslaught, a new type of activity. It came with reprised exotic missions and a rethinking of how we could do like a rad style event, a raid event with the Pantheon. And so for our first major update coming a few weeks after the Edge of Fate launches, we've got Ash and Iron. Right? And so with Ash and Iron, we're going to be returning to the Plague Lands.
Returning to the Plague Lands, can't wait.
It's going to happen.
Plague Lands, baby.
And so that story is going to pick up from where we left off from the Edge of Fate. And with it, we're going to have a new activity called Reclaim, a brand new exotic mission, new types of pinnacle ops entering that for the first time, as well as, of course, what's Destiny without loot to chase? We've got new gear, new rewards, and 2 new exotic weapons as part of Ash and Iron as well. And again, this major update and all the seasonal content going forward is free for all players. All the activity content that exists in the portal, that's free to play.
Very nice. So even to actually go one quick layer 2 deeper on seasons as well, what are some of the cool things that we're going to be able to do with the season that's launching alongside the Edge of Fate?
Yeah, Ben has been working on this space for the team for a while now, so I'm going to kick this one to him.
Yeah, so we're trying to make any time the best time to hop into Destiny. And one of the ways we want to do that is we want to invest in events that are like accelerating the game and enhancing every part of the game, but also bringing new cool stuff. And actually, we've been working on this so long, we actually have some new cool stuff coming before the Edge of Fate.
It's a special little treat.
Yeah, special little treat. So this Friday, you can play a little event, maybe you've heard of it, called Heavy Metal, which is Tanks vs. Briggs, a new PvP mode. It's super fun. I would kind of wish I was playing it right now, I'm not going to lie. But the thing that people at home don't know is we have a new reward. That's a unique thing in Destiny if you invest in this event, if you go and play. And it is a free-to-play event. So this reward is free to play. It is a new combat vehicle that goes in your Sparrow sled, combat Sparrow, if you will, called the Griffin. And this is a really cool, like, combat-ready vehicle you can take anywhere you can summon a Sparrow. You can summon it and use it to fight your enemies and just have a really good time. And there's some really cool there's some really cool build crafting things with this vehicle that I don't want to spoil right now, let people discover, but I'm super excited for it.
They all thought they were going to ride those skimmers forever.
Well, I mean, we've been saying like, what was it? Skimmer is Flash and the Griffin is Splash.
Hey, there we go. The dad joke quota has been met.
We got to get one in.
Absolutely, yeah. But that's all, right, man? Like, you've got more for us, don't you?
Oh, yeah. So, like I just said, there's more events that we've been making. There's one that's going to happen right after the launch of Edge of Fate. It's called Arms Week. And it's a 1-week-long event, and you're going to be focusing on one weapon archetype in Arms Week whenever it comes around. And this one is going to give you a new legendary weapon of that type. It's going to have some volatile mods that are there for the week that are going to be super interesting and fun to play with, and some focusing you can do. But there is a problem when you say this event is going to be about weapons and about using them.
Yeah, you got to have a place to test all that out.
Right, and
Yeah,
so I mean, I've been doing that in EDZ this whole time. I don't know about the rest of you.
Those poor dregs.
Right?
Yeah.
But there is a new way now. We have a new feature, a long requested feature that is being added to the game with Arms Week. It is the shooting range. And the shooting range is being added to the tower. It is a now permanent addition to the game with the launch of Arms Week. We're not taking it away. And you can go there and you can try out everything in your kit, everything about your build, with all sorts of simulations of different kinds of enemies and situations, and it's all real damage numbers. It's like
It's even got a scoreboard.
It's even got a scoreboard
For you
right there.
and your fire team.
Yeah, your whole raid team can go down into the shooting range and try out, like, see exactly how well you're going to do for some kind of boss at this range or
I was
with
going
a
to say,
strategy.
who can do most of the damage, right?
Yeah, well, you're probably going to know.
So we have a rally flag. It's not just a shooting range. Like, you can go beyond the firing line and use your abilities too.
Yeah, you totally can. And like, if you wanted to, you could even take in Prismatic and pop Transcendence and try that out. And well, I think the reason why we're not seeing that right now is because it's a Titan.
Yeah, it's a good soldier.
Yeah.
Standing on that firing line.
Yeah, staying on the firing line.
All about building that line and standing.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of theory crafters are going to have to go ahead and have some upheavals to their Google Docs, I'm guessing.
This will be a really good tool. Like, as we're adding all of these different systems with gear tiering and all of that, you can go in and check those damage numbers in real time. Like, how do my stats change? How are these different gear bonuses going to affect my gameplay? You can see it in the tower now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And while we're talking about weapons,
Oh yeah,
got one more thing, right?
Yeah, no, there's one more thing. I know
Yeah.
you're excited. So there's more events. Of course, there's more events, and the holiday events are coming up. Where Solstice is right around the corner.
It's
as well.
summertime, right?
It's summertime. Summertime is solstice time in Destiny 2, and Solstice has some really cool twists and such that we're planning. But I'm not going to talk about that right now. I want to show you all the new holofoil treatment we have for Solstice weapons. So here we go. This is the holofoil treatment for Solstice in 2025. It is good. It's amazing every time I look at it.
Yeah.
It is an ocean,
On a
and
gun.
the line. Yeah, we put the ocean on a gun. How did we do that? It's beautiful. I love it. And any kind of weapon that drops for this event can have a holofoil.
Yeah,
no
so
matter
it could
what
be
the
tier 1 or tier 3. Yeah, any
exactly.
weapon can have the holofoil.
Yeah,
the
the tier 5 holofoil.
Ooh.
Like that's gonna be a chase. Our other events will also have holofoils.
Yeah, like Arms Week you're talking
Arms Week
about.
will have its own holofoil treatment. Like every event, a major event we have, will have a holofoil treatment. The holidays will have their own kind of special one, but yeah, Arms Week will have their holofoil drops that you can farm as well.
super exciting. No, it's going to be a good time. I'm going to have way too much stuff to chase down, so appreciate you guys putting all the hard work in, obviously, for that. But I believe we've got one more thing.
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking a lot about, here are the free updates coming to Destiny, the portal, a bunch of different stuff, Edge of Fate, but we also have another expansion, and we need Allison back on the couch to talk about
Right,
it.
yeah, Allison.
She's the best one to talk
Yeah,
about.
There we go.
we've got something very exciting, and so once again, Allison, thank you for taking the time to join us today. We appreciate it.
Of course. I'm so excited to be the one more thing.
Yeah, it's a tradition around here, so we're glad that you could obviously go ahead and lead us into this one. But, as Dylan mentioned, we've talked about the Edge of Fate, but this is the first year we're going to be doing 2 expansions over the course of a year. Can you tell us a little bit about Renegades?
Yeah, so we're going to have a dedicated reveal for Renegades in September alongside our major update, Ash and Iron. But earlier we were talking about how sometimes our formulas can constrain us from experimenting and innovating. And so in that spirit, Renegades is going to be very different from the Edge of Fate. What I can tell you, and we'll talk plenty about it later, is that we're going to be experimenting and innovating with activities, with social mechanics, and more. But more importantly, I want to talk about our inspiration. And so I have to kind of tee it up first. So Renegades is going to be a Destiny, definitively Destiny expansion. This is part of the Fate Saga, and it's going to push it forward in important ways and introduce characters that we're going to spend time with for years to come. It is an essential Fate Saga story. And it's an homage to a universe that has inspired Bungie from the start. It's a universe that all of us here on the couch grew up with, as well as everyone else at the studio and millions of you back at home too. It is a peanut butter and combination, a peanut butter and chocolate combination inside of what we're making that could only be possible in the kind of world that we build here. And so I am absolutely thrilled to be able to give our first sneak peek at Destiny 2 Renegades.
Let's take a look. Okay, Robbie, what did we just see?
Yeah, so that's Renegades, which is coming out this December. And to really drive it home here, Renegades is a one-of-a-kind Destiny experience, right? And just like we on the Destiny team have taken inspiration from other genres like dark fantasy or cosmic horror, Renegades takes the space western vibe and aesthetic that is Star Wars, and it puts it through that Destiny lens. And ultimately, it's created a new lawless frontier that is emerging within Seoul. And so, like, we're so excited to show Renegades off a little bit today and to be talking about it more in the future in September alongside the free major update with Ash and Iron. But right now, today, we're focused on Rite of the Nine and what's right around the corner with the Edge of Fate.
Absolutely. No, I heard a lot of calendars get marked just now on September, but
Hopefully.
no, super excited to share more of that in the future. But that actually leads us to the conclusion of today's show, which again, we covered a lot.
There's been a lot today.
Yeah, this has been a big show, honestly. No, we went through a lot of it. So let's go ahead and quickly double check. We obviously went through, and the Year of Prophecy, pardon me, is going to go ahead and kick off on July 15th. And this kicks off a brand new multi-year Fate Saga and our new focus on the core hobby of Destiny. The first expansion, The Edge of Fate, is going to be launching again on July 15th, as I noted, with its raid launching on July 19th.
Okay, hold up.
Yeah.
So you're going through a lot of information. We already covered that.
Oh, yeah.
But like, you can't just sneak in a raid date. We have a new raid coming with the expansion, July 19th. We're going to have a bunch of blogs. We're going to have the rules, regulations, all that kind of stuff for our raid race.
Of course.
We invite everybody to come in, try to go for that world first title. And yeah, I mean, just stay tuned for more details. We're not going to spoil anything. It's a raid. We got to keep it secret.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, everybody mark your calendars.
Yeah. Bungie.net is the place to go ahead and learn more. And again, follow our social media channels. Do us all a favor. So in addition to that, again, as we've noted, Ash and Iron, our first free major update, will be launching on September 9th. Renegades, very exciting, will be launching in December. And then keep an eye again on our social channels. We'll provide all the updates once they're available. But as far as today goes, the Edge of Fate and the entire Year of Prophecy pre-orders are available starting right now. Now, pre-ordering for starters, the Ultimate Edition will go ahead and unlock the New Land Beyond.
New Land Beyond, that exotic sniper.
Super
I
exciting.
can't wait, man.
I can't wait, same, honestly. That'll be unlockable in addition to several other goodies. And also, we've also got a collector's edition that'll be available. You can see here on screen, it will be coming with an awful lot of very cool stuff, including this cool statue that you may have noticed here that's been sitting with us on stage. This is one that you can go ahead and add to your collection as well, but that's not all that's in there. Is there, Allison?
The writing team got a little excited on this one. We put a lot of lore goodies into this collector's edition. So like that weird metal thing, that weird envelope, boy, weird. I wonder what's up with that.
Just decorative
You
points?
should probably read it. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to do a dramatic reading as soon as
Yeah, we should go downstairs immediately after this.
really
Oh yeah, right after this.
Count me in. And then again, too, as far as today goes, Rite of the Nine. This is the essential prologue to the Edge of Fate, and like all of our events moving forward, is going to be a free to all players. So make sure and go ahead and check that out when that arrives. And before the show wraps up, make sure and stick around for a little bit longer. We're going to be rating our good friend Sammy Cat as well. So go ahead and give her a follow. Tell her we said hello in chat. Pardon me. If you have any Twitch Prime subs or anything like that, go ahead and do us a favor. Drop it over there and check out her stream. She's going to be having a good time. But that concludes it for us here today. So for starters, huge thanks to my teammates here for joining me.
Thank you, Andy.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely, yeah. Robbie, Allison, Dylan, of course. There we go. We got Ben and, of course, Mr. Dave Samuel. Thank you all so much for being here today. And then, of course, to the crew that puts all this on.
Thank you, everyone.
This doesn't happen by accident. Thank you all so much for all of your hard work and dealing with me on these last couple of days. And, of course, to everyone at home, to all of our guardians out there in the community, thank you. It's a tremendous privilege to get the opportunity to share what we've been working on early. And it matters only if you guys show up and join us. So we really appreciate it. We hope you enjoyed. And otherwise, in the meantime, until we see you again, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we'll see you all Starside.
So yeah, man, I got a lot of thoughts. So first and foremost, I think they still to this day, I think they struggle with how to position the game for like a newcomer. Like when they were showing all that stuff and they had like the ops, I think the difficulty is they look at all of that through the lens of understanding. Like they understand it all, so it makes sense to them. And it's just like, I still wonder if they've missed an enormous opportunity right now to do like an actual genuine reset, and give people like that fresh start new come in. They probably just don't see the numbers to justify that. Like, a lot of effort going into new player onboarding would potentially be wasted effort in their mind. Again, I'm just thinking from their perspective. Like, they know that ship has probably just completely and totally sailed. But that doesn't really negate my point. I think they really, really struggle with that part. They struggle to position the game for newcomers. They struggle to kind of like package it in a way where if you were to come in brand new, you would have like sort of a semblance of like, what should I do? What will the grind look like? What am I doing? What am I going after? They kept saying they were going to like show us that, and then like they tried, and I just felt like, yeah, you guys still don't know how to do this. It just eludes them. I think it's like it's almost like trying to put an elephant in a teacup. Like, I just don't think it's possible. I think the game is so big, it's so massive. There's so many systems. There are systems upon systems. Like, they start pulling open the armor and they start talking about Armor 3.0, and like a new player or a player that's taking a break, your eyes are just going to glaze over. You're like, I don't know what any of this is. So I think that's a huge challenge that was like just readily apparent. That was readily apparent in how they kind of tried to position everything. As far as how they're sort of packaging the content rhythm, the year, the stuff coming out, I think to me it's pretty apparent that this game is running on fumes, right? They're probably pivoting people away. They're probably limiting the bandwidths. I'd be very curious what Sony's input is. Like, is Sony trying to push them to work on Destiny 3 since Destiny 3 wasn't planned? A lot of those incubation projects have now been either shelved, absorbed by SIE, or canceled altogether. Noseworthy and Luke are gone. Like, they've gone through some pretty significant leadership restructuring. There's the rumors that like the leadership's going to bail once they get the final amortized payment from PlayStation. That could be significantly tectonic to the future of the game and the future of the company. So like, yeah, that's pretty apparent. And then obviously the Star Wars thing. Like I told you, when we did a couple of those member streams where Madam tried out the game as a brand new player, I was like, I don't know where Destiny's soul went, but it's not here anymore. It's just this shell of a game. The colors, the feel, the vibe. It doesn't feel like that gritty old world. It's kind of like when you watch Mandalorian or good Star Wars and the world is old, aged, and then you watch like the very pristine prequels, right? It's like that's what Destiny feels like now. It doesn't have that mystique, that mystery, that gritty old. It doesn't feel old anymore. Like, I don't feel like I'm in some weird, mysterious old universe. I feel like I'm in this very polished, overly colorified place. And Stone Spire's going to do 3 singles and walk us all the way to 55 on the day for YouTube, but 100 on the week. So 100 on the week. Congratulations, YouTube. You did it. You're on pace for yesterday. You caught back up. And now we need another 100. Anyways. So, yeah, so when Madam played, I was like, I don't know what this is, but this is not Destiny to me anymore, right? And none of this is like hate because I can't play the game. Like, I'm just making observations. Like, I have no ill will. I don't have some kind of an agenda here. I don't really have a desire to play the game. I have no desire to jump back in and play it. I'm more interested from a business perspective. Like, I find it very interesting. What's Bungie going to do to end of life this game? How are they going to cruise down? What are they going to do next, right? I don't think Marathon has it. I think Marathon's destined for a delay and an indefinite shelving. I don't think that game has a prayer based on everything we've seen. Arc Raiders kind of made that even harder for them with its tech test being significantly better and higher praise and higher engagements that we saw. $5 super chat from True SSJ. Not sure if this is mentioned, but I know as Phil in this GTA has both arms. So it says that HD era is loosely related to 3D era as theorized. I have no idea what you just said. That sentence doesn't make any sense to me. I know the reveal is kind of pulling me back. Got a deep backlog. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think they're just always going to struggle at this stage in the life cycle of the game. You're going to struggle to bring people back. You're going to struggle to bring people in. I don't think that's a problem they can solve easily. I don't even know if it's a problem they think is solvable. I think at this point, Bungie's goal is probably deliver on the cadence that we promised, give people new things to do, and then we do that until the wheels fall off, would be my assumption. Like, that's what they're attempting to do. And obviously, partnering with Lucasfilm and doing the Star Wars stuff, I would imagine that's part of those efforts to just get people's attention, get people to, like, oh, wow, I can go get a lightsaber in Destiny. That'll stoke some fires. I mean, that's I don't think that's deniable. I mean, I don't even play, and I was like, okay, that was kind of cool. Like, he's like, from the doors that open or whatever. So yeah, minimal effort, buying time. Yeah, my questions are not like necessarily about Destiny in the immediate future. It's more about Bungie going forward. What's this company going to look like end of 2026? What are we looking at? What are we doing? What are they working on? What's Destiny doing? I'm very, very curious. Does this thing just kind of turn into a coast with regular cadence and just an ever shrinking player base? Destiny Tracker for years was around 1 million players daily. Now, if you check it, it's around 250,000 across all platforms. The game is dying fast. Well, and they would, I think, if you go and listen to the GDC presentation where, he says in February of 2018, if the player fall off would have continued, they were going to be in a disastrous situation. That was around the time they did the summit, and they sort of like, all hands on deck, we got to fix this or we're cooked. And that led to Forsaken. Which ultimately saved Destiny 2's bacon, right? I didn't mean to make that rhyme. Forsaken was essentially, King's Fall. Or I'm sorry, the Taken King. Forsaken was the Taken King. It came in and kind of saved the day. And they're kind of known for that. I don't think there's that. I don't think that's a thing that's going to happen anymore. Did they next mention that the next several years, several is like 4 more? Yeah, I mean, it could be, 3 to 4. On the token of like saying, well, they were getting 1 million players a day, now they're getting about 250,000. They are likely internally lowering bandwidth and the amount of people working on this. I don't think they can justify. You got 300 people working on Marathon. They have laid off chunks of people. There's been chunks of people that have been absorbed by SIE. There's been teams and projects that have been absorbed by SIE. Excuse me. So, more than likely, they are going to have to decide what's next. I don't think Marathon's going to carry the company. I don't think Marathon's even going to last. If it sees the light of day, I'll be shocked based on everything we've seen. I think that project is in very, very serious trouble. And so beyond that, right, you got 300 there. Let's say best case scenario, they get Marathon out the door and can justify supporting it for a year. Well, that means you got 300 people that are like kind of like on task with Marathon. Okay, so then you got people that are working on Destiny 2's cadence of content. I would imagine that's probably more than Marathon, so 400 or 500. That means you've got about somewhere in the neighborhood of 300 to 500 people that you could start to pivot to something else. The question I have is, what is that something else? What is that something else? Is it Destiny 3? Is it a completely new IP, right? They have the ability, I think Bungie has the ability to create the next big looter shooter. If there's anybody that can do it, it's them. Nobody's done it yet. There's a vacancy in the market. I think Glad tweeted that in response to Marathon. It's like, there's this huge vacancy in the market. What are you doing? Phil Cassidy from GTA 3, VC lost his arm. In GTA 6, he still has both. So 4, 5, and 6 have similar characters, but not the same. Oh yeah. I mean, I don't have any frame of reference for that. I'm not a big GTA guy. I mean, obviously we covered and reacted to the trailer today, but I had no idea what you were talking about. So, yeah, that to me is the bigger question. The bigger question is, what is next? What's on the horizon? Because I don't think this carries them. I don't think the money that this will generate, I don't think the demand for the game, I don't think the intrigue and the interest. Because listen, that Star Wars thing looks cool and all, but y'all know Disney, that royalty splits, that that licensure and that royalty split, it's certainly going to help them, but not to the degree that like Destiny 2 ever can return to its glory days. And you see Sony shelving a game that's had 6 years of dev. Oh yeah, yes. You listen, you don't just shove it out because it's been in dev for 6 years. You don't do that. By the way, everything that people have been playing in Marathon, that alpha, that's not 6 years worth of work. I think somewhere along the line, that thing has been, reset, repackaged, rebuild. That's not 6 years of dev. My current theory is that, Dr. Lupo indicated that he was engaging with that content as early as 2018. Anon the 9 said that Destiny 3 was going to have PvE areas, and I think that laid the groundwork for Marathon. I think whatever Lupo was engaging within 6 years ago, I think he was playing that. Donkey Kong Death Metal, thank you for resubscribing to Twitch 5 months. Dr. Lupo, you mean? I'm not taking cheap shots at the man. I've tried to be about as gracious as I can be towards Lupo. I'm being gracious to people that weren't gracious to me, because that's just what I believe is right. So what was I talking about? What were we talking about? I lost my train of thought. They removed all the stops on the Marathon Alpha. Oh, yeah, shelve it. Yeah, Marathon. Yeah, I don't, whatever Marathon currently is, to me, is not like 7 years of dev. I think that the groundwork of whatever they were working on with Destiny 3, that got ripped out. They started working on ideas of what became Marathon. I also think internally, the reason that Bungie was like, we don't want to do Destiny 3, and they started doing other things. They had this project that, like, whatever Luke Smith and Noseworthy were working on was going to be like a Monhun third person, you play as heroes from the Destiny universe or whatever. All those incubation projects, I think they were trying to build bridges away from Destiny 2, because I think to do a Destiny 3, I think was just insurmountable to them. I don't think they wanted to sign up for that again. I don't think they wanted to sign up for another game that just demands an insane amount of bandwidth, an insane amount of work, an insane amount of stress to maintain player base numbers, to maintain interest. I don't think they wanted to sign up for that again. I think they internally decided that Destiny 3 was not in the cards for the company, which is completely understandable. I mean, some of the most demanding times for Destiny, they had parallel development. They had Vicarious Visions. They had High Moon Studios. They had other studios helping them. So I don't think internally they wanted to do it again. Will be able to play Destiny? No, I don't think they'll ever reverse that ban. Somebody went in and did a dev ban on Steam. I was never given an explanation. I never broke their TOS. I would never have cheated in their game. The last time I played Destiny was like February of 2021. My son and I were playing. He was running Lost Sectors on Earth, I think. So yeah, never got an explanation. They won't reverse it. I don't genuinely care. I really don't. I have no interest in going back and playing the game. I've not touched it for 4 years. today's stream and my interest in the game is more business. It's like I'm interested in the business side of things. Like, how are they going to... I love talking live service. I love thinking about the future of, like, what's Bungie going... How is Bungie going to help PlayStation not to have any more Concords? I think Marathon's on its way to being very similar in just not being in demand. I was hoping all the people that left would allow for a new start. Well, you would basically need somebody to look into it and decide to do the right thing. I mean, that's what you would need somebody to do. I mean, that's how I got back on Twitch. Like, I was emailing Dan Clancy. He looked into it, you know, and he welcomed me back to the platform. So that you need almost like that level, you know. You need that level. That's why, you know, all the time back then and even now, I've always said, like, you want somebody to look into it and actually, you know, investigate. That's always the position that I took. And that's not going to happen, I don't think. So, excuse me. Do you not have someone high up at Bungie you can reach out to? No. No. No, I've spoken to former employees, man. Like, it was, there was internal efforts, there was internal narratives. That ship is pretty much sailed. You know, there's no way. Like, the people that work there, you know, the people that are even kind of still in the community and even stream the game and, you know, stream on Twitch, they very much still are of the belief that I'm some maniacal evil monster. It's reversing that narrative is virtually impossible. Once people kind of decide that, it's sort of over, regardless of facts, regardless of, you know, truth. That just doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, which is, you know, that's unfortunate, but, like, I'm not losing sleep over it. I don't need Destiny. I haven't needed the game for a very long time. Like, we do a variety show, variety coverage. I'm very much pleased with what we're able to do. We've been able to crank out videos about Gears, react to GTA 6, crank out a video about Arc Raiders, and all that content is getting great support and great engagement. I don't need Destiny. I don't really want Destiny. It's just I've been too removed from the game to even engage with it at a level that would be enjoyable. So, Lodi, Lono, same color scheme, pretty much close to a 1-to-1 model. I mean, it's funny to joke. I don't think that's what that is. It could be just pure coincidence that a guy with glasses, similar beard and hair, similar color scheme desires, and a similar name. I mean, it could just all be total coincidence. I mean, they're probably going to kill him in a terrible way. They're probably going to kill him in a terrible way. You know, somebody at the studio is getting their last little personal shot in. I'm obviously kidding. I don't think that. What's the guy say? Yeah. He's probably too tall. Those are just focused on Destiny content creation. They're not doing the same numbers they did. Yeah. Cross deservedly asked Cross became directory lead and, you know, continues to do great work on his YouTube. I have nothing but respect for Astacross. He's like the one man of integrity, you know, on the field. Your typical Mexican, thank you so much for 18 months of subscriptions over here on Twitch. Thanks for using your Prime on me. That does move the Twitch number to 48 on the day. I did say at 50 I would drop 20. I was trying to be generous today with Twitch. I was trying to motivate you guys to compete with YouTube. Being frank, you getting banned from Destiny 2 sucked, but you're not in the shoes many Destiny content creators are now. All have videos wondering what they're going to do now. Yeah, I mean, I don't envy that. I went through that. It was tough, you know, from 2021 to now. It's been 4 years of a lot of work, man. It's been challenging, and it's not easy to pivot. It's not been easy to pivot to variety. It can be very scary. It can be very unsettling. Like, I don't wish that on anybody. I don't have any ill will towards anybody. I don't wish bad things on any of them. If that's kind of the gauntlet that they're facing, you know, more power to them. You know, I think some of them are probably creative enough to figure it out. Some of them probably not. It'll be tough. They'll have to probably, do something else. So Destiny, I'm here for the GTA trailers. That's right. Lono's pivot to variety was not the most impressive change he made. I don't know what do you think is. No, I don't really do the Lego stuff anymore, Tempa. It just took too much time. It was really, really hard to put the work into it, and when a channel's not monetized on YouTube, it just, it doesn't do very well. Oh, your personal growth. Oh, well, I mean, I appreciate that. I bet the NPC will say frick. When will they announce the marathon delay? I don't know. I would say they're going to want to wait. Yo! 20 gifted subs on Twitch from your typical Mexican. He says, I'll tell you what, YouTube, we're taking the lead. Holy mackerel, that's a big one. Guys, if you just got a gifted sub on Twitch, welcome in. You will never see an ad on my channel if you're a sub on Twitch. Thank you so much for doing that. YouTube, Twitch has officially taken the lead for the first time in weeks in the friendly competition. It's now 68-55. Keep it going, Twitch. Don't leave them any room. Make it really tough on YouTube. So dope seeing the old names back. I agree. It really, really is. And I know there could be people watching this now or watching this later who, I do have it on sub only mode because I was worried we might get some unkind treatment today. Hang out, watch me stream, interact with me, ask me questions, watch me stream with my wife, and ask yourself if maybe you've been wrong about me. So that's all I ask of people. It's just to keep an open mind and to be considerate of that. Yo, Cornbread Not War. I know that name. 10 months. And we do have YouTube answering back. 69 members on Twitch. Nice. And a 5-bomb comes in from Mr. Grimm. And that sets up YouTube to be exactly 20 away from 125. And the friendly little contest between the two platforms is now 60-69. I told you, Twitch, I wouldn't leave a whole lot of room there. They'll come for you. What's good, more bacon? Excuse me. Cool to see old folks coming back like Lightly and Milky. Oh, yeah. You got the old emotes? Oh, yeah. We never changed any of them. I mean, my hairstyle changed, but we kept the emotes. A lot of those haters left the space. Apathy really does kill player bases. I'm thinking about viewers, Audie. I'm thinking about viewers. There were viewers that understandably didn't like what they heard about me. I think that's fair. I'm not trying to rehash everything. I'm not trying to defend myself. I'm just saying, maybe you should reconsider and rethink and reanalyze a lot of that. So, we had a single gifted from Steady Red Gaming over here on YouTube. And he says, come on, we can't let Twitch win. 69-61. Thank you so much for doing that. Yeah, I mean, there's somebody on YouTube saying something. Yeah, I mean, just you have every right to think and believe what you think, but if you think and believe things that aren't true, it behooves you to fact find and do research. So, and I'm not going to do it for you. I'll hold my hand up. I literally jumped on the bandwagon. I was wrong, and I've always told people I totally understand. It makes sense. I don't hold that against anybody. You know what I mean? I don't hold that against anybody. It was a very, very confusing and emotional time. We do still have an active Destiny 2 clan, says Ganks, for the community that still play. Reach out to me. Yeah, get in the Discord, especially if you're a sub on Twitch or a member on YouTube. Our Discord's still rocking. We still got folks in there. Yeah. So, Yeah, I mean, crowded house. There's no reason. I don't pay any attention to any of those folks because they were largely strangers 5 years ago. The last time I was around some of these people in person was 6 and 7 years ago. I don't know them. They don't really know me at a personal level. I don't know where they are in life. They probably don't know where I am in life. I'm not going to sit here and judge or speak to it. I don't know where anybody is or what they're doing. It doesn't really concern me. I have said that my email is on my Twitter profiles. If anybody wants to reach out, I'm open to that. I don't expect it or anticipate it, but, you know, I'm not going to close that door in anybody's face. You play games on stream. I do play games when they're like new and like worth checking out. So like we checked out Oblivion Remaster when it dropped. We checked out the Days Gone Remaster the day that it dropped. We checked out Arc Raiders. We checked out Towerborn. So those are all gameplay VODs on YouTube. They're easier to find on YouTube because here on Twitch I just kind of go, and then we just kind of switch categories, you know, depending on what I'm doing. So yeah. Glad to see you got the platform back. Never sat right. What happened to you? Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. The Destiny expansion cost money or is it free? A lot of it's free and some of it costs money. It's hard to keep it all straight. I was kind of excited to hear your take on what they were talking about. I don't know enough specifics about the game to commentate with any, like... Yeah, I checked out Expedition 33. Yes, I did. That game plays on the YouTube channel as well. I absolutely loved it. It's currently at the front line of the backlog. I had to play the Midnight Walk, though. I rolled credits on it. I'll have a review of the Midnight Walk on the 8th when the embargo drops. But yeah, my general thoughts about it were, I think they still struggle to put the elephant of Destiny into the teacup needed for like a new player to be able to, you know, understand it or engage with it. I really think that new player or returning player onboarding is still a bit of a mess. I think they struggle with familiarity. Like, they're super familiar with the game. So when they break down all their new systems and all their new things, it's like, it makes sense to them. But I don't know if it's going to make sense to anybody else. 100 for the year? Oh. So, but for the existing players, I just think it's clear they're shifting down. They're going to make good on their promise of cadence. You know, it'll be a lot of repackaged stuff, probably. It'll be a lot of repackaged stuff, a lot of reused stuff, and it's largely going to just start to coast. The bandwidth the people working on it's probably going to continue to scale down. To their credit, this is their 11th year, man. Like, to their credit, they made it 10 years, dude. Like, that's no small feat. That's no small feat. And it's time. It's time for the game to slowly head towards the sunset. You know, it's just time. And that's fine. I think every game's going to get there someday. Some games get there way sooner than others. So, you know, again, to Bungie's credit, Destiny has gone a long, long way. I mean, they ran the distance. They went up against Apollo Creed, and they proved that they're not a bum. You know? They went the distance. And, you know, that's why I was interested in covering this, because I was more interested if they were going to give a single signal, hint, whisper, wink of the eye, anything, to whether or not, like, oh, there's something beyond Destiny 2. That I think has yet to be determined. It'll be very interesting to see, you know, whether or not Sony, you know, pushes for anything. So, somebody says, wait, who's this? Oh, okay. People are just responding to my thing on Twitter. Destiny should be looked at as a model for successful live service for upcoming live service games, and deservedly so, in my opinion, despite the more recent downturn. I don't know if they should necessarily be looked at as a model for successful live service. I think it's a mixture of both. It's both informative and also cautionary. It's both. I don't think it's like, oh yeah, if you want to do a successful live service, you should do what they did. I think it's a lot more nuanced than that. It's almost like a survival guide for the desert, the wilderness or something. Like it's not an easy path. It's extremely difficult. Survival's not guaranteed. Success is not guaranteed. Yeah. I think that live service games going forward have their greatest potential within PvE environments. I think PvP environments are going to be the most difficult to maintain. It's so saturated. It's so hard for PvP environments not to turn into meat grinders. It's really hard for PvP games to grab enough players, because a lot of those players are already playing PvP games. And so yeah, I think there is the ability. I think there is the ability for PvE games to have life. I think they can learn from Destiny. Look at it as like how many live service looter shooters have gone as long as they have. Yes, that's true, but I think that's again too simplistic. They almost died multiple times. They had dire situations, financial situations that were terrible. They had parallel development with Vicarious Visions and High Moon Studios, right? Like they made it 10 years, but it's almost like yeah, they did, but they had so much help along the way. They had so many times where they almost didn't make it. You can't be like, well, if you're going to make it 10 years, you can do it. Bungie did it. It's like, yeah, they had that like influx of cash from what was it, Tencent or whoever sent it? I think that was for like a mobile game, wasn't it? I don't know what happened with all that. Yeah. Oh, that's right. I owe 20 on Twitch. I'm gonna do it now. Oh, you guys a little. I owed you guys. I was feeling generous. I said if you guys got 50, I would drop 20. Thanks for the gifted sub. No problem. Welcome back, dude. Nothing came of Matter, Payback, a lot of that stuff, yeah. They partnered with a Tencent company for making a mobile Destiny game, games called Destiny Rising. No, I know about Destiny Rising. I was just showing that, like, the path to success with them has been very, very shaky. So you want to look at them and say, oh, if you want to do live service, you should really look at what Destiny did. I don't necessarily think what they did is a recipe for success. I think it's a survival guide. It's like, these are the things to avoid. These are the terrible things that can happen. These are the moments we almost didn't make it. Like more than like, it's not a strategy guide. It's a survival guide. Is how I would say it. Looking back, do you think Destiny had a better run in Activision's hand? Or better after the split? It's a mixed bag, dude. It's a mixed bag because Activision wanted Destiny 3. Destiny 3 would have been terrible. They didn't have the ability to create a third game fast enough. It would have been another MVP. It would have been a minimum viable product. It would not have been ready. It would have been so bare bones. Everybody would have been angry. They would have been like, here we go again. Vanilla Destiny 1, bad. Vanilla Destiny 2, bad. Vanilla Destiny 3, bad. Like, I don't know if they would have been able to survive that again. But that's what Activision wanted. funny enough, Activision wasn't pleased with Bungie and timelines, and now that they're under a new company, PlayStation has also spoken to accountability with timelines. I think as much as they've tried to give it, over the years, they've tried to give assurances like that the engine's fine and like the engine's not archaic. It's like, are you sure about that? Because the last two companies that you've worked with in an ownership relationship have not been pleased with your ability to hit timelines. So Bungie might be the luckiest studio ever when you look at their past and current owners. Yeah, I don't think Destiny 3 would have worked. I supported their decision to dig in on Destiny 2 at the time from a purely pragmatic perspective. It was just pragmatism. It was like, they don't have another choice here. They don't have another choice. They 100% did what was necessary to survive. It wasn't like, I don't think they had another option. So, well, I've kind of said my piece. I've kind of said what I wanted to say. I don't want to belabor the point, especially on YouTube. We didn't get a great turnout on YouTube, and I'm honestly not surprised. I think a lot of you guys and a lot of the sub base moved on as much as I moved on. I also think GTA 6 really ate their lunch today. Like, the momentum that they could have even potentially had just really got the wind knocked out of any potential momentum they were hoping to have. Man, that GTA 6 trailer just came out of nowhere. That was not probably not very helpful. Let me set up green room for you guys on YouTube. You guys on Twitch don't need to do anything. I'm going to switch directories. We don't need to be in the Destiny directory anymore. Just chatting. At least we don't have to keep hearing rumors about the effing second trailer anymore. I do like that. I like that that's over and done with. I do. Are you thinking about keeping YouTube long term? Just want to make sure I don't miss out. I am not going to move to Twitch. We have said that. I mean, that's as close to being written in stone as anything could be. Our bulk of support, our bulk of viewership, our bulk of paying members, sub members, all that is still on YouTube. Twitch is coming in huge with a ton of support and being amazing, but like there is literally no way I would turn my back on what we built on YouTube. No way. We are seeing a bit of a slowdown on that weekly goal. I mean, it's possible we're going to need to combine that because there are people who are going a little crazy and dumping their support. I mean, just today there was 50 people that helped out on Twitch. I kind of feel like we need to combine them because eventually it'll be a sub-only stream on Friday night for Twitch, and that they're going to earn that as much as you guys are on YouTube. So, because right now Twitch just today would have added 69 to that total, and I kind of feel like that's how we should do it. Maybe we should raise it a little bit, but yeah, I do feel like that weekly goal is slowing down because people have shifted their support to Twitch, and they're still supporting, but they're now feeding a different bucket. So, let me give you guys a link to the green room. Combine it and raise it. We just need to figure out what we think is like a fair goal if we're going to combine it and raise it. Factor in a lot of double dippers. Yeah, there's a lot of double dippers that are helping on both. All right, there's your link to the green room, YouTube. You guys don't have to do anything on Twitch. Eventually, you'll need to. Eventually, this will be sub only, and you will need to be a subscriber to watch this next segment. That's why chat's sub only. Thanks so much for being a paying supporter on YouTube. If you're watching this, you're Member Plus, you're VIP. Thank you for that. If you're watching the tail end of our co-stream of Bungie, you can come to the green room. Just upgrade to Member Plus. It's $1 more. You can click join. It's $6 a month. You get into all the extra content. It supports me directly. It's a huge goal and a huge need for what we do full time. And so when you guys do that, there's always a couple thousand of you that are benefiting from gifted members on both Twitch and YouTube. And when you jump in and support on your own and pay for your own membership or sub, that means a lot, and it helps out other people. It frees up space, so consider doing that. I'm going to end the previous stream and bring people over to green room.